If you need to sell your house in California, but you cannot afford the repairs to get it market ready, you are not stuck. And you are not the only one dealing with this, not even close. This is one of the most common situations we see. Let me walk you through what actually matters and what your options are. I'm Justiniano with Quick Home Offers. My brother Josh and I have been buying houses, condos, multifamily, and land across California since 2013, over 300 properties. And I can tell you, the majority of sellers we work with are in exactly this position. They do not have the time, the money, or both to do a full rehab before selling. That is not unusual. That is the most common reason people call us. From Sacramento to the Bay, Fresno, Bakersfield, Ventura, San Diego, almost every home we buy has some form of deferred maintenance that the seller cannot afford to fix. Hundreds of sellers. You are not alone in this. Before you do anything else, answer this one question. Can a buyer get a mortgage on your house in its current condition? If the roof leaks, the foundation is compromised, the electrical panel is outdated or recalled, the plumbing is failing, or there are code violations, most lenders will not approve the loan. The deal falls apart no matter how motivated the buyer is. And here's what a lot of people miss. Lenders require the buyer to carry homeowner's insurance. If the home has a damaged roof, active leaks, or unresolved structural issues, many insurance companies will not write a policy. No insurance means no loan, means no closing. If your home cannot qualify for financing in its current condition, your buyer pool is cash buyers, period. Whether you list it with an agent or not, the person who actually closes is paying cash. That is just the reality. If the issues are cosmetic, let's say you have an outdated kitchen, worn carpet, old paint, a traditional buyer can still get a loan. And you have more options. If the home's core systems work and the issues are cosmetic, small improvements can help. A deep clean, fresh paint on the front door, basic landscaping. These things cost a few $100s and can help a traditional buyer see the home as move-in ready. But here's when to skip all of that. If the house needs a new roof, new plumbing, a full kitchen and bathroom gut, or major structural work, do not paint the walls. Do not install new carpet. Your buyer is going to tear everything out anyway. Every dollar you spend on cosmetic work in a house that needs a full rehab is a dollar you are not getting back at closing. We see this constantly. A seller paints the house and puts in new flooring thinking it will help their offer, but the buyer was going to demo everything regardless. That money would have been better off in the seller's pocket. Once you know whether your home can qualify for financing, here are your paths. Option 1, sell as is to a cash buyer. No repairs, no agent commissions, no inspections, no lender approval. You close in 7 to 21 days and walk away. This is the fastest path when the home needs major work. The offer will reflect the condition, but you are not spending anything out of pocket and you are not waiting months. Option 2, list as is on the open market with an agent. This can work if the home only needs cosmetic work and you can qualify for a mortgage. But here's what most sellers forget. The sales price is not what you walk away with. You need to subtract agent commissions, that is 5.5% in California on average, then closing costs, typically 1.5%. Then repair concessions the buyer negotiates after the inspection, usually 2% or more. Then you have holding costs, your mortgage, taxes, insurance, utilities. Every month the house sits on the market. Then cleaning, junk removal, and prep costs to get the house show ready. Run the real numbers. Take a California home with an after repair value of $750,000 and $120,000 in needed repairs. List it as is at $575. After commissions, concessions, closing costs, 3 months of holding costs, and prep, the seller nets about $510. A cash offer at $510,000 nets you $510,000. Same number, but it closes in 7 to 21 days with no showings, no negotiations, and no risk of the deal falling through. That is why math matters. When a property has deferred maintenance, the time and money it takes to list on the open market often nets the seller around the same as a cash offer, and sometimes less. Do the math before you decide. Now, option 3, you can finance the repairs with a home equity line of credit, a personal loan, do the work, then list at full market value. This makes sense when the repairs are moderate and the increased sales price clearly outweighs the cost. It does not make sense when the home needs $80,000 in work and the market will only reward $40,000 of that and a higher price. We break down all these options with cost comparisons on our website at quickhomeoffers.com. Now I'm going to give you a real example. We bought a duplex in Ventura in the Avenue neighborhood. One unit needed a full rehab. The other unit was in decent shape but had tenants in place. The seller could not afford to kick the tenants out, rehab the property, and go through a conventional sale. That is a lot of money and a lot of time they did not have. Quick Home Offers bought the property as is. After closing, we handled the tenants, made sure they found housing, we offered them relocation money, and they vacated on their own timeline. Then we rehabbed both units. The seller walked away happy, and the only thing they had to do was sign the paperwork. Everything else, the tenants, the rehab, the permits, all of it was handled by us. That is what we do. If you have a California property that needs work and you are not sure whether to fix it or sell it as is, call or text us at 805-870-5749 or go to quickhomeoffers.com. We will walk you through your numbers with you and give you a straight answer, whether selling to us makes sense or not. No fees, no obligation. In fact, there's a full guide with the financeability checklist, the repair cost chart, government assistance programs, and all the frequently asked questions and answers linked in the description below. If you're dealing with mold on top of everything else, we have a video on that here. I will link it right below. I hope you guys got some useful information out of this. Looking forward to hearing from you. Take care.